I'm not afraid to say it, Jim. I think you saved my life. I was not doing good. I'm gonna get on my perch here. We were state champ. I lost 2 games in my high school career, and I played all 4 years.
So why don't you tell me uh, how bad your symptoms were before we started?
Ooh. Before we started, it was impossible for me to leave my house. I had to, if I went to work, I had to have a ride for either my wife or my brother, who was on the same shift as me at the time. No overtime, to and from work. That was it. And I was having symptoms at work too, so just miserable all around.
Yeah, your world was pretty small, wasn't it?
It was very small. It
Yeah,
was about 7 to 10 miles, about it was, as far as I made it.
yeah. And you had two safe places to be, right?
Well, really, one work was somewhat safe, but home was the safe place. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Come in. Good night. I'm the last guy here in the office. We won't have any more interruptions.
You're fine.
Uh, okay, so what had you tried before you came to me?
I had went to, I guess it was first happened back when I was, what was it, 18, 19, right around there. I was sent to a ER, and they told me what I had was a panic attack, or they thought it was. They wanted me to go see a psychologist, psychiatrist. I can't remember which one it was. So I went and saw one. All the stuff he was trying to get me to do didn't explain the symptoms to me, didn't explain what was going on, just tried to get me to relax as far as tightening up my toes and the legs, going all the way up to my head, and not even teaching me how to breathe right. That was what he was trying to teach me, was supposed to fix me. And of course, meds. He was giving me, I did 2 different meds at that time. I think he, towards the end, yes, the Paxil stopped working for me. Then he got me on the clonazepam.
Yeah.
Yep.
So was that helpful to you?
It, until I started talking to you, yes, it was. I thought it was doing great, but I always had brain fog.
Yeah.
I didn't feel right. I was always tired. Never could figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And they pretty much treated me like I was a seeker when I was trying to get help.
Yeah. Okay, but nobody had explained it to you. Nobody had,
I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea.
and then what was your worst symptom?
Well, the original one felt like I was actually having a heart attack. After that, it came to my throat. It's like somebody was choking me. I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't breathe. And then, of course, when you can't breathe, you keep thinking worse thoughts and worse thoughts and worse thoughts, but just kind of piled and piled and piled on. And
And what were those worst thoughts?
I'm dying. I can't breathe. Something's wrong with me. I'm worthless. I can't figure this out. All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
All the negative thoughts that come to your head.
So had you been to another mental health guy?
Just the one when I first happened, and the second time around when I can't remember the name of that's the only other place I've been besides you.
Yeah. Yeah.
In between then, the doctors were giving me the benzos until everything changed. Yeah,
Yeah.
they stopped.
And you were still getting rides back and forth to work and
Yes, couldn't even go to work. Couldn't even drive. I couldn't even drive. I'd go to my parents, maybe, but I'd have to be on my phone the whole time talking to somebody.
yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Okay, and then what happened when you started coming to see me?
First thing when I first started out figuring out what it was, and number one was it's not nothing to be ashamed of. That's the first thing I figured out. Because like that story I told you when I was crossing over the bridge, all that construction.
Yeah.
It, I had to pull off. So I had to pull off. So I had a panic attack coming on. I could feel one. So I just pulled off the side of the road, and the cop pulled up behind me because there was a wreck. That's why we are going so slow. I just told him straight up, I'm having a panic attack. I'm doing fine. I'll get settled down. I'll get going on the road. That right there helped me out so much. Just being able to tell somebody that I'm having this issue and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm having this issue. I'm going to figure it out, and I'll make it across,
Yeah.
which I did.
And what he say?
He just told me if you need anything, let me know, but I'll just be right up here. Just assured me, nothing. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, so what'd we do that felt different?
Actually, what we did was we taught me what the symptoms were, how to identify them, what they were. That was a big one for me, is what they were and how to get through them.
What were they? What were the symptoms?
My symptoms were a lot of them. It's still going back to the breathing and the heart rate. That's when I started knowing it was coming. All the adrenaline, like you said, that fight or flight coming at me for no particular reason. That's when I just think, why am I going through this? Nothing's going wrong. So, but then I'd start having those negative thoughts again. Till I started talking to you, we started turning those negatives into more of a positive, and it kept getting less and less and less. Started taking less and less med.
Mhm.
Buying into that, that's the biggest thing you got to do too. You got to listen to it, do the homework.
So what have you liked about our work together that was different than what you did before?
The main thing I've got from this gym was I don't think it's a one size fits all type thing, because certain people brings on different things, bring on their stress, of course. Figured out what mine was. Me learning what it was that was making me go through this and how to deal with it when it happens. So number one, and number two, get rid of it. Like I told you, I'll wait for the big one to happen.
Uh-huh.
They'll wait for the big one to happen.
Did it happen?
No, it's not going to. That's just it. That's my whole point now. It's not going to. I can wait all I want. It's not going to happen.
You were preparing for it though, weren't you?
Yep. I was definitely, I mean, I've had a couple here and there, like I've told you, but as soon as you feel it coming on, it used to be, I mean, I used to have those things going on for a long time. It felt like days, but I can knock it out in less than a minute, 2 minutes now.
So how's your world? So when we started, your world was really small, right?
Oh, yes.
And what's the size of your world now?
Oh, I can't wait to go traveling.
Hmm.
I can't wait. Get on a plane, go drive. I mean, I'm not really a big driver, but I can't wait to get on a plane, go somewhere. Been in Mexico a couple times.
Yeah.
We're planning on going. I think we're going to Bahamas here this summer or this spring. So something I never would have thought in a million years I could do. Matter of fact, I even like my motorcycle. Bought my motorcycle. I knew I couldn't ride that when I had panic attacks. Now it's just the freedom to know that I can get on that bike and go wherever I want to go.
That's a lot bigger world, man.
That's a huge world.
Yeah.
That's probably about as far as I'm going to make it. But
And I mean, and you're one of those guys that wants to be dependable.
yes,
And if
I take pride in not missing work, and I take pride to going to work and getting everything done that needs to be done.
and if they have a need, you want to fill it.
Yes, that was my big thing.
And I mean, and that's a really good quality. But you're kind of typical of people that have panic in that way,
Yes,
you know, take on a little more than your share, you
do
know,
that. Yeah, I did that a lot.
feel responsible for other people.
Yeah,
You're not a lazy guy.
no,
You're a team player,
yeah, yeah.
but you can do too much of that, and then it ends up causing you symptoms.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay, so I notice you've tried to refer a lot of people to me.
I'm trying. I still am. Yes,
I know it, and I appreciate it.
it's just people got to get it through their heads anymore. They're still stuck in the '80s.
Yeah, you feel, I mean, you really want them to do that.
Yes, I do. I've got a couple of coworkers I work with that I've actually closed the door and had to sit down and talk with them.
And they haven't done it.
Nope. I keep every time I see them, I said, I'm telling you. I can sit here and tell you how I did it, but it's different for me than it is from you. You need to go talk to this guy.
Yeah. Anyway, we've had a good success working together.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your high school experience as a football player.
No. High school football was a blast.
Yeah.
We were kind of a big thing back in the day, I guess.
State
I'm gonna,
champions.
I'm gonna get on my perch here. We're state champion. I lost 2 games in my high school career, and I played all 4 years. Only a 2-time state champion.
Man,
Played varsity three of those 4 years.
I mean, you're not a weak guy.
No, I, no,
Kind
I
of a
took pride in that. Yeah,
man's man,
yeah,
you know. But
yeah,
even a strong old dude like you can have some vulnerability, you know.
yep. That's another thing you find out. You think you're tip top and everything's going good, but you're not there.
Yeah. And then you felt pretty darn weak, didn't you?
I felt very weak. I felt like I was letting myself down, and plus my family.
Yeah. And
That's even worse.
how about now?
No, no, I don't feel like that at all.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing this interview.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate all your help.
Yeah. It's like I say, I mean, you've learned a lot, but I've learned a lot too, you know.
I'm not afraid to say it, Jim. I think you saved my life. I was not doing good.
Yeah.
I was not doing good at all.
And you had a little tendency to be addicted.
Oh, oh yeah, that's another thing we worked on. Yeah, got that taken care of too, though. But
Yeah, you were chewing what were you chewing?
nicorette,
Yeah.
bottle a week.
How much were you spending a week
Oh, I
on
know, man.
nicorette?
I'd spend $100 probably every 3 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
And
that's money went other places now.
now you gave that up.
Yep,
And
yep.
that's one of the reasons that, you know, you've wanted to hang in there and, you know, give up the bad stuff you were doing in that kind of addictive way, you know.
That made a after we got my panic and all that stuff under control. Then it wasn't as bad because that's the first thing I always jumped for was start feeling panicky and I'd start taking Nicorette,
Yeah.
which is a bad thing for you, but another story.
Now you don't have any of that though.
Nope.
Yeah.
Say nope. Don't have any of that.
Just living honestly.
Yes, I am. I love it.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, I appreciate it. And
Thank you, Jim. This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
did you think it was going to be bad?
No, I'm not. You know me. I'm shy.
Yeah. Well, you did a good job.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you helping me out on this.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure, man. I feel like I know you really well.
I feel the same way, going honest with you.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll see you soon.